It sounds so much cooler.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be installing the Riva Racing exhaust on the Yamaha SuperJet. But before we go ahead and dive into that, I wanted to talk on some of the points that we've learned about the new ski. First thing is going to be the hood. It's ginormous, which makes it nice for when you are working on it, but also how light it is. It's only 17 pounds. Even though it's the biggest hood of all the skis, even the Kawasaki, it swamps the Kawasaki hood. But this Kawasaki hood's 8 pounds more than this hood. And then for the old SuperJets, those hoods are 19.5 pounds. So it's even lighter than those, even though it's the biggest of all the hoods. So I'll go ahead and put this down. And I wanted to show you one thing that we learned with this is where your fire extinguisher goes. We actually keep a tow rope in pretty much all the skis in case we break down. So we put this in there. And then if you're on a longer ride, this is also a good spot for a Gatorade or a drink. Now, as you noticed, I put it on the other skis because there's really not room to put it on the old or on the new SuperJet, because traditionally we put them kind of on the back of the ski like this. We just kind of set it back there, but this thing is so big that it makes it super awkward to put anywhere. And then also, even though it's just cool being lighter and more open, you can kind of hear the SuperJet more. It does have a real flimsiness feel to the hood, whereas like on the Kawasaki, you feel like you could probably stand on it. This one, there's no chance I'd ever consider standing on this because it's so flimsy, and you can hear how flimsy it sounds. And if one of these plastic pieces break, you can change the individual pieces, but to replace the entire hood is like $1,500, so it's super expensive, but it does make it cool that you can hear the engine more on the 110 horsepower SuperJet. Alright, so we're going to be installing the Riva Racing Free Flow exhaust. Only thing we'll need is a stub nose 5/16 nut driver or a socket, if that's what you prefer. But it's essentially just a resonator delete. So off this water box here, it goes into this pipe, and then into this exhaust resonator, and then out the back through there. But over here, it's a little restrictive, so I think that might help a little bit with the free flow exhaust. But it's super easy, just 3 hose clamps and a bungee, and we'll get that thing out of there. We typically always do the exhaust or the intake as well. But with this, how expensive the tuner is, and then the need to relocate the ECU, it looks cool, but for the time being, I think we're going to kind of stick with just the free flow exhaust right now, and then do some handling components like the intake right here. We'll be doing ride videos of testing the miles per hour with the GPS, stock with the exhaust, and with the intake rate to see if there's any differences. And then one thing that we really were surprised by was the fuel economy on this. This thing is way more fuel efficient than the Kawasaki. The Kawasaki gas light comes on far before we even get to a quarter of a tank on this ski. But so far we're really happy with the handle pull spring, and looking forward to hopefully get a little bit more sound out of the engine or exhaust with the resonator delete and the Riva Racing Free Flow exhaust. So let's go ahead and get started. Start by taking the top of it off, and that gives us more room. Yeah, this ski has really impressed us. I didn't think it'd actually feel as similar to the smaller old round nose SuperJets as it does. You can tell they did some goofy things like the handhold and the tray and the oversized hood, but you could tell they spent a lot of time engineering the entire ski to be lightweight like the old ones, and it does feel a lot more similar to the old ones than the Kawasaki SXR. That thing is a tank. Riva Racing does not come with new hose clamps, but eventually I'll be doing a comparison video of all the skis, which I think will be interesting, because it's not like one ski does everything better than the rest. They all kind of have their niche. With the free flow exhaust, it should open it up a little bit back here, so you can get to the dipstick and the oil filter a little bit easier, and it'll clean up the engine bay and give a little blue accent to it. I think it'll look cool. And I always use a little bit of Windex just to get the hose a little bit slippery, so it slides on a little bit easier. Cool. Alright, we're going to test out the new Riva Racing free flow exhaust and see if it does anything for the miles per hour and see how it sounds. Oh, it sounds way better. It's colder today than last week, but
I was down there last Saturday. It was great.
yeah. Today it's not bad if you got two wetsuits on, but yeah, it's worth it though. So if you sit the hood in the water this way, since there's no air ducts that go into the engine bay from the hood area here, it's all on the front of the hull there. That's where it takes all the air. It actually doesn't take in much water, so it floats pretty consistently this way. The other way was a little sketchy, but this way it floats pretty good. So that's good to know. If you need to set your hood down for a second, don't have a place to put it, it will float this way, as long as it's not in choppy water, if you wanted to check the oil or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you have lunch on it.
54.4.
Really?
55.
Really? Let me see it.
Yeah.
55 miles an hour, 54.4. So it is faster with the exhaust. Just for the sound alone, it's worth it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a must-do mod.
That sounds so much cooler.